Hello. Hello again. Welcome. Oh, I'm back. I'm back. The camera is way too red, isn't it? I think I have the balance off. Fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. As you can see, I'm okay again. I am, well, I'm still getting better. Not yet 100%. I'm trying to get, I'm really trying. No, I'm sorry. This is the first live stream since the last time when I was completely buttered. I was absolutely destroyed. I don't know if you remember my voice. Well, the next day I didn't have a voice. Next day I was absolutely voiceless, mute, destroyed. I was talking like this. Terrible. It was so bad, so bad. I see that we have Marky there in YouTube. We have Blavish as well on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. Oh, it's great to see you guys there. Always Marky there. It's always there, Marky, right? And yeah, it's so great to see you again. I've been really out on this. Been missing that. Working on the tower defense. We've been working on this about 10 days like that I've been. Oh my god, I've been in a terrible. It's been bad. But hey, that didn't stop me working. That stopped me getting things done like I like to do. And yeah, I've been working really hard on that new release for Rogue Engine. It's out, and it's finally out, and we have Rogue Engine 066, which is actually, that's a tricky one, right? Because it's actually 065. It's actually 065, right? I mean, yeah. Who am I kidding, right? 065. I just had to patch it over. Yes, some of you may know that it was actually 065, and I had to patch it. I actually had to go and fix it. Yeah, how nice, eh? How nice. I think I oh my god, I launched at like 2 a.m. I decided, okay, finished. Finally was able to make that dev installer and all that, trying to make the Pacman, the dev, and trying all the different installers in all the systems that I have. And when I was ready, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. And yeah, it was already, I looked at the 2 a.m. I was like, oh, no way. No, there's no way I'm launching now. Now, because if I don't launch now, tomorrow, it's going to be way too, tight with the live stream and all that I want. So it mess. So I decided to launch there. And apparently I made a mistake while I was doing that. Because I don't know why I made a mistake. Yeah, I did a relaunch, like I did a rebuild when I was launching somehow with something that I had on, and I made a mess. And we didn't have the connection with Marketplace, so we couldn't download. Just not for the Marketplace itself, but with the download service, right? To download the package. So we couldn't download packages. So yeah, right. No, not very good. Not very good one. Oh yeah. Long night. It was a long night. I think I went to bed like 5, and I was very, very tired. And I was screaming. I was very, very angry. And then, well, I finally built it, fixed it, and we're done. We're finally over. We have 066 now. We're gonna call it 6 because on 065. 065 is a boring number anyway. We want 066. That's a much better number. I love 066. I think it's a much better number to have for us new release. And yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with this, with every single feature in that thing. I mean, we have so many things. I have so much to show you. I can't wait to start showing you all the stuff. It's a mess. It's a mess. The amount of stuff that I have to show you, I mean, it's so much. It's so much. But first and foremost, the most important thing is something that I said like right there, like I just said it. Right? I just kind of said it there, but yeah, very important. Now we have launchers for installers for Mac. We have the ARM-based Macs. So if you have an M1, M2, M3, whatever, M4, M16 or something. No, not the M16. If you have an M Mac, an ARM-based, you now have a special installer for that. The reason is that the previous one wasn't working well on my. I was using like an Intel Mac and an ARM Mac, and I saw that the Intel Mac was working much better, even though older. And I didn't know why. It was because I was doing the releases from the Intel Mac, so which was an older Mac. So that universal release was not coming out. So yeah, I did the new. I started a new one. I did the ARM-based one, and now that is. I mean, that will definitely, if you're using Mac, you're gonna have like I think your experience is gonna change at least 50. That was my experience. Really, I was able to. Was a different, like so good. If you have an M3, great. Another one of the things is the Debian installer, right? The .deb. We used to have the app image. We still have it, right? We still have the app image, but we know how many problems we've had with the app image before, and we still have, right? So, I don't know. I'm thinking of getting rid of it. It's like on every. Seems like on every distro, on any Linux distro, there's some kind of issue with the app image. You have to do simple. You just double click and opens right on Ubuntu and all that. Wait, now you can't. Now it's like it's a complete mess. So I don't know. I really don't know what to think. I am not. I am. Yeah, I'm definitely not too happy with the app image and that. Now you have the app armor. You have all that. That's just stopping you. And yeah, it's not great. Right? It's not. So no more app image. We still have it, of course, but I'm thinking, okay, if people start using Deb and the new Pacman, we have a Pacman now. We have a .pacman. I think the app image mostly is for maybe Fedora. I don't know. I've never used Fedora in my life. I don't know if the app image well in Fedora. I don't know how they work. I don't know if Fedora. If you're using Fedora and you can tell me about it, you can tell me, hey, I love app images. Thank you very much for the app image. But if you're not using Fedora and you tell me that, well, I don't know. Maybe you're using Fedora and you've never. But yeah, if you're using something like so yeah, if you're using Fedora, right? Let me know because I'm trying to make the RPM for Fedora, but it's not it's not easy. It's like my goodness. I mean, I don't know why. It's always a problem. Something a problem with Fedora always. I don't know why. It's always a problem. I don't know. Everything I tried with Fedora is like something there, and then there's always a. Sorry, Fedora use. I'm sorry. Don't get so uptight. Okay. We have Slim Shady. Slim Shady here. Okay, look at that. I think we have the Flatpaks are what Fedora prefers, but I don't know what creating one entails. Yeah, Flatpaks. They are. I think the Flatpaks, for what I've seen, they are a mess. That was the first thing I thought about. Like, okay, should do a Flatpak, but then the Flatpaks, for instance, don't have the auto update. That's a mess. I want to try and have everything automatically set up for for updates. So then you have to go and download it again or call the update yourself, right? So that it will just auto update whenever the patch. You click on update because you open the editor and now you want and not just on a regular update, just stuff that so that the auto updater is general for everyone. I don't have to maintain this store here and that store there and that thing. That's why I didn't do Snap. right? First, because a lot of people hate Snap. So many people hate Snap. So yeah, yeah. Fedora, those RPM files and all that. So yeah, the RPM problem with RPM. Tried to wait a bunch of times. I did try. It really stopped me a bit. So I was like, yeah, let's. And Fedora, I use it. Very very sorry. Use the app image. Use the app image, or I don't know if you want to extract the debian file, the deb file. I don't know if you want to do something like that. I don't know. Yeah. But or drink wine. I don't know. Yeah, but so yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so but we have the Pacman. We have the Pacman. If you're Arch user, right? You're using Arch, by the way, right? You can you now have a Pacman, right? So you do Pacman U and the name of the file, and within the folder, right? And you right. So it's very very easy. And yeah, that's great, right? Because if you Arch Linux, now you can have a very nice editor for yourself, right? So that's great. That's great. So now we have Arch Linux, Debian, and probably we'll see Fedora. I don't know. I would love to know if Fedora is trying it out, and if they're trying to install app image, what's the experience been? Yeah, right. We did that. But yes. Yeah. Let's get to the feature. Yeah, let's get to the feature. Because feature-wise, I mean, this thing is heavy, full of stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm delaying because I forgot to update Bergen system. I've been I've been installing it everywhere, and I forgot to update and it's taking a while because yeah, while. So by the way, Slim Shady, welcome and thank you for coming. Comment. Yeah, if you're watching this, okay, leave me a like there. Leave me a like and yeah, subscribe to the channel and all that. If you from Twitch. I really need some Twitch help there. So yeah, give me some there with the follow and yeah, and hello. Just say hello in the chat. That really helps a lot. Okay, yeah. So let's get back now. Yes, thank you. There, thank you. By the way, do you like the video in the back there? Yeah, this I didn't know. Like I don't know. I'm just dropping. Is it dropping? I know what it is. I know what it is. Bit the filter is the noise gate, probably. I think it's the noise gate. I can okay, there. Yeah, it's absolutely the noise gate. Yeah, totally the noise gate. Yeah, oh. I'm testing. I'm testing visually because I can't hear it. Testing visually. Thing there. Yeah. Oh no, that's bad. That's bad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Have to do. Otherwise, I just remove the noise gate and but yeah, I think that's fine, right? Let me know if it drops again. But I opened the door a bit of the gate, so I think we're okay. Let me know, Marky. Let me know. I know you're an audio guy. I know you're an audio guy like me. If you're hearing something going on, something weird there, I trust you'll let me know. I'll be vigilant of the chat there. So in case you let me know there's something going wrong. Okay. I would like to test the audio before I go into this. keep talking like a crazy man. Because I don't know how much you've heard of all this. Hopefully, you've heard most of it. You know what? I'm gonna drop the noise. I'm gonna drop the noise gate because I don't trust it. Yeah, I don't trust the noise gate. I don't trust the noise gate. I actually had the noise gate for something else, so we probably don't need it anyway. So yeah, we'll just drop it. We don't need it. We don't need it. Fuck the noise gate. No gates for our noise. We're just gonna have full gain. There you go. But yeah, thank you, Marky. Let me know though if it breaks or something happens there. Thank you so much. So always let me go into here anyway to make sure that everything is okay. And yeah, let's there you go. All right. Yeah, now let's go into the screen here. Let's share this. Okay. Oh, how long since you didn't see this, eh? Okay. So what do we have here? What do we have here? Oh, that's the other thing. Okay. All right. So so much to show you. So much to show you. Yeah, let me know if you see anything. I have the chat. I think I have the chat here I can put on. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I have the chat there I can put on. Yeah. All right. Yes. But I'll be vigilant here of the. Oh, yeah. Marky's saying it's all good. Thank you so much, Marky. And yeah, you'll be able to see the chat there now, so you'll be able to see yourselves. I think anyway, it's covering the. Let me close it for just a second. You can see there that there's a new button here, right? The maximize button there, so you can maximize your scene now like this, right? How's that look? Eh? That's nice, right? That's a nice addition. Someone asked for that in the chat. I don't remember. Someone I was actually developing here. Someone asked, "Can you maximize the thing?" And yeah, you can now. You can maximize it. You know, because you ask, and I provide. That's who I am. You know, that's how this works. That's how this works. People haven't yet understood. I think the how much I actually mean that. When I say I'm not kidding. I am not kidding when I say that. Okay, so yes, let's go into here. Let's keep looking at the different things that we have here. Wait, the chat. Yeah, I added the chat. I thought I had forgotten about the chat, but no, I didn't forget about you. Thank you very much for being there. All right, yeah, if you're there, leave me a like. All right, leave me a like, leave me a sub if you haven't subscribed and all that. I don't even know where to start. Honestly. There's so much stuff here. I'm gonna try to go in an orderly fashion. Okay, so let's start with this scene. Let's start with the scene and the renderer. I think this is a simple one because you have this. Okay, we have this maximize button here. Okay, now we have some more features here. 3 different features. We have the resolution. So this is an interesting one because usually you would see the resolution lower and you would see things getting worse, and definitely you can see things getting worse. Like if you get go way down like to 800 or 400, you'll see it getting worse. But there's a point there. Well, I don't know. I think in 1028 it looks better than in 3. I don't know why. I think it looks better. So yeah, I don't know. It looks like a grainy filter somehow. It's weird. It's strange, but it looks very, very nice. Yeah. So basically, this is doing is simply setting the pixel ratio for you at a certain resolution. So it'll cap the pixel ratio at a certain resolution and then start scaling it down so that you in bigger screens and all that, it's not just trying to pull so much graphic power, and you can set this dynamically from your code, right? So you don't really have to worry too much, about having this set in stone if you don't want. But if you want to have this, as a sort of general thing for most users, very graphically heavy thing, and you want to make sure that it works really well for everyone, and it looks good, so you can set something that's general, and it will obviously give you a good bump there in the and performance wise, right? It's really good performance wise. Actually, it's really, really good. It changes a lot, really, like drastically. I've noticed it, and sometimes with just a little tweak, you don't really need to do so much. Like, it's just adjusting it. I think just going from something like 19, like my screen 1920, right? If I just go like this, it's just a lot, really. But 1280, sorry, it's I mean, the difference is not that much, and it looks really, really, because it really looks really, really nice. And the oh, sorry, there, yeah, I think you can see the full screen anyway. Yeah. And the yeah, and it looks really, really nice. It looks like, yeah, it looks good. I don't know. And you see it's full screen there. We were full screen. So, and we're streaming. It should have had some more. It did have some drops, of course, because of the we always have drops when we are live streaming, but that's a given. But yeah, you see that when it's working, when it's running fluently, and it's good, and it's all fine, right? So that's a good thing. Because the other thing there, right, it's oh yeah, there, right, the full screen. I added a full screen. I forgot that I added the full screen. Every time it clicks anywhere, the full screen comes on. Yeah, it kicks in. All right. Yeah, the other thing was the resolution. As you could see, we have a resolution there that is kind of attached, right? So you just click here, and you can see it in the runtime, right? You can see it here in the editor. So you can play around with the resolution. You have also mobile resolutions like this to test, or to either to test or to actually just leave it like that, because maybe you want your game to be played like this, just vertically. So you sort of force the user to say, okay, just play the game, vertically without actually locking. You can lock the screen. You can use the the API to lock the I don't remember the API exactly, but you can do a lock there. It's actually it's just a one-liner, right? But I think it's just lock landscape or lock portrait. I think it's just that's all you do, really. It has a bunch of options, but it's a one-liner, really, just a function that you call. And it's yeah, and this, I think, it's very powerful in that sense, right? Because you can really define, like in this case, for this game where it's a screen like this, right? If you have let's say if you have the free screen like this, you can see everything until these mountains here. But if you augment this, right, you can see beyond the mountains here now, right? So maybe you don't want people to see beyond the mountains. So what you do is you simply decide, okay, I'm going to decide on a resolution, and I just open like this, and you can only see until there. And that's okay, that's good, right? So it works when you want to have a set, viewport, and you want to be sure what people are looking at. But yeah, I would always recommend, though, to whenever you can, just leave it free, let it roll, just leave it free. Because I think for the most part, and many things, I think people, just giving them a full range of their screens, it's a nice thing, I guess, yeah, so always just letting the user have the full screen. I think it's nice. But yeah, for those specific games like this one we're doing here, this problem is resolved, and you can have a very specific aspect ratio, right? And also for games that you want to have, only played on portrait, on portrait like that, the problem is resolved as well. So yeah, that's I think that's good. Some people have been asking for that actually for a while, and yeah, I provided just now. Yeah, so I'm very sorry it took a while, but yeah, Most people using it free, didn't care. I was using free also, I didn't care. But I felt your pain while I was building this game, so I actually, you know, sometimes I feel your pain, and it just accelerates your requests. Yeah, let's oh, sorry, I have to check something here. Let me come back to me for a second, because I have to open, yeah, I have to open VS Code. I forgot to open VS Code. Oh my god. So it's you know, OBS. Before I open VS Code, I unshare the screen. Otherwise, it goes, you know, it can't open, you know. And now, yeah, but we can open now. We can open it now. Here we go. Yeah, let me know if you're enjoying this. Let me know if you like what you're seeing, if the stuff you're seeing is interesting or not. Yeah, because we're gonna have some interesting stuff to see here. Very, very interesting stuff to see here. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Yeah, we have, I've been testing. I have some code that I've been using to test, so we're gonna be able to see that. We're gonna play around with it. Okay. But yeah, let's go back to the game now. Let's go back to this. How do I do that? It's I don't have the shortcut set up yet, and I also have the mat in my hand, so I can't. Yeah, you know, I'm more Uruguayan than I'm a dev. I'm a bad streamer. I'm a bad streamer. I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at this. I'm so terrible at this. Just leave me in the chat. Tell me how terrible I am at this. Just tell me in the chat. I have a thick skin. I actually, sorry. I have a funny skin. I laugh at those things. I have actually hit off those things very it makes me it's so funny. I love it. So yeah, just tell me you're a terrible streamer, mate. Yeah. All right. So let's go. Screen. There. We screen. Yeah. Okay. I have a mess in the scenes there. Okay, so okay, we saw the resolution and the thing to test the camera. Oh, the camera, right? The camera, because now you can also test the resolution. Will be seen also in the camera. And the cool thing is that, right? So if you set your renderer to something like, I don't know, some kind of weird phone thing, right? You're gonna see the camera there, right, showing you exactly how it's going to look in your game as well. And also the camera I've applied. Remember that the camera didn't show you the renderer settings, right? With the color scheme and all that. The how do you call it? The color space and the tone mapping and all that. It wasn't showing in the camera preview. Now it does. So you know that is also there. Yeah, that was a simple fix, but hey, it's there. So I had to add it, you know. I had to add it. It was one more of those things I had to check off the list. Yeah, and those things can pile up. We know that those things pile up easily. So yeah, that was one of those things. And then okay, now we get in interesting territory. We get in the stuff that is actually really, really interesting and really, really cool. Okay, so bear with me now. Okay, we're going to see the coolest stuff that we have here in the new version, and that is, first of all, the prefabs folder. Okay, the prefabs folder. Well, one thing, now that I saw the prefabs loading, one thing I fixed is that now prefabs always show you the image, because previously we had a problem where some prefabs weren't showing you the image. There was a problem there with the preview generator there, and I fixed that, so now they will always show it. It may take a bit longer to show them to you, depending, because the prefabs, the thing about prefab compared to the other ones is that they have to actually load, and they have to load all the dependencies that they, you know, like for instance, this one has a bunch of materials that it requires, right? So there are two materials, so it has to go and look for the materials, has to load those materials, create the, you know, mount the model there, and it's using a secondary process, so it's actually doing it in parallel. So you don't have to, you know, it will not block you from doing anything here. But yeah, it's that's just gonna take a while sometimes to load, because it's usually loading a bunch of them and then sending you the images. So yeah, That's one thing, right? But one really cool thing here is that now we have the prefab editor now. So we now can open our prefab editor like this, right? It includes a couple of lights to be able to see. And yeah, as you can see, it kind of has the this simply dark space where you can have your stuff there, where you can have your base, and you can see it. You're under your prefab. You can open another one while you have that one open. You can just exit and go, and you can go about your scene again as if nothing happened. This is tricky, right? This is tricky. This was very tricky to set up. I think the approach was kind of the same way I've done everything with Rogue Engine. I think it's kind of being hacky about things and being funny about things as well. Like, how hacky can we be about doing some stuff and actually hijacking things that we already have? And, hijacking stuff. Rogue Engine is a lot about that. And that's why it's called Rogue Engine in part, right? It's because it's being rogue about everything. It truly is. I mean, hijacking pieces of Three.js to get to work as Three.js and not as, something else. Just wanted to be Three.js. But then, you kind of have to hijack some of the objects and all that in an intrusive way instead of wrapping them and, no, you hijack them, So that has been the ruling, I think, mechanism or thing here. I don't know how to call it. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah. Basically, now we have this prefab editor, and yeah, you can. So you're writing here something in your scene, and you say, okay, oh no, I want to change something here. I want to add a box to my prefab because I think boxes are so cute and so nice. Because boxes, I like boxes, and then boxes are so cool, I'm gonna just make it 10, and just you save your stupid box and all your stupid boxes there and your stupid bases. How nice is that, eh? So yeah, that's a cool addition. You could already do this, right? I mean, the updating all the prefabs in the scene that worked like since I think 2nd generation prefabs in Rogue Engine. 3rd generation prefabs were the nested prefabs. 4th generation prefabs is with an editor and dynamic. Now you can access these prefabs, everything you put in the prefabs folder. So be careful now, okay? Because if you have a prefabs folder that has prefabs in it, all of the prefabs in the prefabs folder will be included in your build. So your new build, okay, just let me go back to me, like to my screen of me, so that you can see my face while I say this. All of the prefabs folder, sorry, let me go back and say it again. All the prefab files in the prefab folder will now be included in your build. This is a blessing or a curse depending on how you've been organizing your files. So if you have a bunch of things that you don't want in your scene in the prefabs folder, that you don't want them to be in your game, then you should remove them from the prefabs thing, okay? And just put in the prefabs folder the stuff that you really want to be in your game. So yeah, that's a very important thing, because now everything you put in the prefabs folder, and let me show you again. Let me go back to it because I wanted to see my face. Look at my face, right, very big, and then on my eyes while I tell you, this thing, because it's very important. Let's remove the box because I actually don't like boxes. I think boxes, they're not nice. They're boxes, they are. Yeah, I don't like boxes. So everything you put in the prefabs folder now can be accessed by its name. Sorry, by its path, which is in a way its name. So it's a name path, right? Because it's been set up as a name in the background, right? So now instead of saying, okay, I want to access, you know, a prefab, so I come here, you know, and I have to find, you know, create some component where I have all of these prefabs here, and I have to drag and drop them every time. If you have a bunch of these, you know, like you can just say, okay, instantiate, you know, this many, you know, 8 melee minion, and that's it, you know, because it's going to use it as a name. The path of the file is now the new name of the prefab, and that's what it's going to be. And yeah, I think you're gonna love that. I think you're gonna love that. This is a big change. I think this is quite groundbreaking for Rogue Engine, right? I'm not saying this is the groundbreaking feature of the world, you know, but this is a yeah, Mark is saying ultimate prefab power. Yes, ultimate prefab power. Yeah, prefab sword. Yeah, this is a very, very, very powerful feature for the prefabs. We're talking about prefabs that now can really load on demand, but on your code directly. So say you can have because you can access, say, the paths, the names. You have a list of names, so you can say, okay, I want to instantiate all the prefabs that are within the enemies folder, you know, or want to like organize them and randomly instantiate prefabs in the enemies folder, right? Enemies level 1, you know, folder, something like that. So you can organize them in a certain way and instantiate random enemies like that, you know, and have always different experience that you don't necessarily need to be drag and dropping your files there. You can just decide, okay, this is what I want right now, and you know, and it's not tied to your scene or to your components. It's actually, to the UI, to the specific instance of a component. Maybe it's tied to the component itself, but not to the instance of the component, right? So that is, I think, a very powerful thing. We're going to test that now. But, well, I'm just going to show you very quick what it is. But I don't know what to show you. So many things. Yeah, so many stuff to show you. Yeah, so much stuff. But yeah, this is the other thing, right? The separators here for the components. So I'm going to go in there now, and you're going to see this. So I'm showing you this first because of that. Just because of that. Okay, just because of that. Yeah, we have I've just added a bunch of properties there just for testing, you know, just copy paste and call them whatever, you know. And here we go. Now, so you have all of these 2, right? This is the test component that we were seeing, right? These 2 are outside of any group. Once you open a group like this, right? So let's separate it so you can see it, you can visualize it better, right? Okay. So as you can see, the group props, right? The group prop is actually piggybacking on top of another. It's always hijacking with me, right? It's always hijacking something. I'm never doing things the right way. It's hijacking something. Always hijacking. It's always hijacking. So, yeah, so that's the thing, right? So we have the group prop is actually hijacking the next property and saying because it's actually a decorator of ref, if you can say. It's actually a decorator for ref, but it's telling ref, okay, with you here, we're starting a new group. And everything below you will be a group. Every new prop that you add below that will be a prop. If ref is not a prop, is not an object 3D or anything, right? If we don't have any of this here, right, and we just have another prop that does nothing, then it's not going to show anything, right? But the props, all the props that you have below, the displaying props, that the UI props, right, that you have here, will be below the row props that you have below the group will be inside that group. And when you start a new one, that will open a new group, and that's it. And you can make it non-foldable like this one, right? Just skip that, and you, as you can see here, right, you can see that the new group, you know, here you can't really open it or anything, and it saves the state, right? It saves the state as well. As you can see, this one is closed, and if we go back and then we come back in again, and then, you know, it's closed again. So it will save the state of your group, so that, you know, yeah, it's just, I don't know how much more beneficial that is, but it's just, you know, I think it's one of those things that people will ask, can you do this? And I just went ahead and added it, you know. Yeah. What else? Yeah, it will also create a separator, right? If you don't add anything here, right? If you just leave it blank like this, you know, you'll have like a separator there. And yeah, that's also one thing. And yeah, so instead you'll just have like this little line there. But yes, what else? Okay, yeah, let's talk about, let's do the prefab thing, right? The prefab thing. What can we see with the prefabs? Let's just start, right? Because remember, start is always where things are already preloaded. In theory, you could do this in a wake, but I would recommend going in with start, because if anything was already loaded through different components, you can pick it back. You know, always piggybacking on that load, and, you know, just get a little bit of a jump start on things. So we can do prefab, and you can do instantiate, and say to instantiate the minion thing there, right? You would be old base, right? You would be just do base, right? And you will instantiate the base, and then will instantiate on 000 thing, right? So you will have a base there on 000. You see that? It's there, right? You have a new base there, you know, you just instantiated it because, yeah. You see that? And you can also, something else you can do is you can do, you have all the methods now in prefab. Right, so if it were in, say, for instance, right, because let's try something else. Here we have elements like this one, right? This is a Tetris block, is this called, right? So if you want a Tetris block, so you say instantiate element Tetris block, right? And so this will instantiate elements Tetris block there, and it's instantiated when it's wherever it's free, right, whatever its position was, right? So here we have it's at -10, 20, right? So the position is saved in the prefab, that's the position that is going to be instantiated in. So remember that. That's very important. So now you have to zero out your prefabs. If you want them to instantiate as zeroed, you know, you have to actually zero out their position here, okay, in the editor. Remember. So that's very important. Remember that, okay? Remember. Zero out your positions if you want them to be zero out. You don't need to zero them out if you don't care about it. If you're sending them through code, who the fuck cares? Just, you know, just don't zero them out. You know, instantiate them at 1000, 1000, 1000, and then just put them in the position you want. You know, that's one thing you can do. That's one thing. That's in fact what we're doing with the enemy minions. If you remember, if you've been following the development, we're actually instantiating the minions in something like 1000, 1000 something, and then bringing them to position. It's ridiculous, but yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, that way it doesn't look like, okay, they're starting in 0 and then they're going back, you know. So they instantiate in a place where we can't see them, and then we bring them in when we want them to be there. What else are we doing? Okay, let's go back to test here so we can see. Yeah, what else we have here? So we have let's look at these functions that we have here. We have fetch, right? So fetch will actually, because instantiate, remember this, instantiate is the promise, okay? So it's not this is actually going and fetching the asset and all that. So if it's already loaded, it's just going to load it, okay, immediately, but it's still a promise, right? So that's important. You can do fetch and fetch the prefab, right? So if this was an async method, right? So if you do async like this, right, you could do const prefab, you await like that, you know, and the prefab, this will be the prefab. So now you can do prefab dot instantiate, you see. No, not a prefab, no, a prefab there. So you can instantiate your prefab there, right, with fetch. But you can also do Say you don't have this. This is not a say you know that it's already loaded. Say that you know that it's loaded. You know that you've fetched it before. You know all that. So you just want to get a prefab that you know it's already preloaded. You've set it to preload. You know, remember you can set your prefabs to preload there in the you know, per scene basis, right? So you can set it to preload. And the configuration, I just did Alt A, right, or Option A if you're on a Mac or something like that. Yeah, you can just get it like this, and this will be your prefab, and you can instantiate it. Yeah, so that's how it works, right? Oh well, yeah. You also have prefab dot. You have name prefab UIDs. So now you have a map of the prefabs by the UIDs. So if you want to get, like, say, you can get let me see something else that we can piggyback on this explanation. No, that's it. I think that's it, right? Because this is a map that has all the names, right? It's a record that has name and your UID of the prefab, right? So you can use, like, you can do object keys, and this way you get an array of all the names within the prefabs, right? So you know, you can say, okay, you say for you know, find, you know, or filter, you know, and say p, where p the, or name, no, say name, filter name, where name includes, I know, elements. You see, like that. So you get everything that is within the elements folder, you see? And that way you can, yeah, you can get all the prefabs that are in a certain things, right? So if you have, I don't know, all these enemies, you know, level 1, you know, so you can get all the enemies of level 1, and you can decide what you do with the enemies of level 1, things like that, you know? So this is a cool feature, right? I think this is a cool feature. This is a cool feature. I don't know. I don't know. I get so excited. I get so excited with cool features like this. It just get me on. Just turn me on. It's so good, you know. It's just code. Code is so sexy, man. Code is so sexy. The you know, yeah. The when the game development muses visit you, you know, just let them come in, you know. Just let them come in. Just let them follow you wherever they're taking you. So yeah, there you go. We have some really cool stuff to play with. I just wanted to play with this. I just want to play with this and have so much fun. Yes, I want to see what you do with this stuff. This is, as Marky said, this is ultimate prefab power. Indeed it is. Yes. And yeah, I want to see what you build with this. I want to see what you do with this. Yeah, because it's really cool, right? It's really, really cool. Okay, and let's see something else that I've done here. Something else that I've done here is I want you to give me a like. Give me a like there. Give me a like and a follow and a sub and all that. If you're watching on Twitch, which I doubt it, because Twitch hates me. Why do Twitch hate me? Why does Twitch hate me? I can't even speak in English, can I? Right? I can't. All right, but yeah, if you're watching on Twitch, give me a follow there. Yeah, don't give me a like, because if you click the heart there, apparently you unfollow people. So yeah, just click the heart thing there. Only the follow thing. Only if you haven't followed me yet, right? And say hello in the chat. I mean, nobody talks on Twitch. And since nobody talks on Twitch, Twitch says, people don't talk in your Twitter, you know, well, just talk there. Just say hello, you know, just beep, beep, bop, bop, just say something like that, you know, I don't know, say you're a bot or something. I'm a bot, you know, it's you know, selling stuff. I don't know, something. But yeah, it really helps with Twitch thing, you know, Twitch wants me to have more people talking there or something. I don't know. All right. So, yeah, this is cool. I think this is cool. I've just showed you a bunch of things. Oh my god, so many things. I'm so disorganized with this because I haven't prepared anything. I just came here and said, I'm just gonna, you know, run with it. And yeah, I'm just gonna have fun and do whatever the fuck I want. So yeah, this is really cool. And something else that's really cool is that now you have a we have another window here that's called Input Manager. Now the Input Manager is read-only, right? You can't set your inputs here because I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do this. So I need your help. This is another thing, right? I need your help. And this is serious. I'm being serious. Yeah, I'm being serious for once, right? Oh, I'm being serious. I need your help. I need your help to test and to let me know like different things here, how they're working, how maybe something that could break in the next iteration. What can we do to make sure that certain things don't break? These are all things I have to kind of figure out. So if there are annoyances, if there are things that are kind of not clicking, if there are things that, hey, this is a problem here, okay, you need to let me know as soon as possible so that we can get that sorted before the 1.0, because this is the last release before the 1.0. Next release will be 1.0, will be on full stability. So we need to make sure that we are as stable as possible as soon as possible. Okay, so that requires that users, the people who use this, because this is what I based Rig Engine on, right? It's obviously my vision, yes, but it's driven by the people who use it, right? Because the people who use it, they know what, kind of what they want. And so sometimes you just ask for something. Doesn't mean that, hey, you know everything. It means that sometimes you know what you want, right? You know what doesn't work for you, and you know what kind of works for you. And sometimes you tell me, hey, this is annoying me, or I will love this. And sometimes I find out, hey, this is a great way to do this. Maybe it's not exactly what you asked for, but it's something that is probably better, or fits better this solution, this specific solution. Sometimes people ask for something because they think, okay, we could do this because it's like a compromise, and then I go full on and do something, much better, just let me know what things are annoying you, what things are a problem. Let me know what things break. Let me know all that. Luckily, some people have already told me about things very fast, like in a few hours. People have told me, hey, this is, I'd love this to be this way and this. And, the separators, for instance, Dan Rain mentions the separators being a bit too, too faint, very hard to see. So they didn't really make much sense. There wasn't much separation. So, he said, okay, it would be, he showed me a picture there of how he would go about it. And it makes a lot of sense. It was a good idea. So, that's probably going to be there for the next one. And, so there's just things I need to figure out. But the thing is, you need to propose them. You need to bring them in. This is just me here, me and you. This is me and you. Okay, so come in, bring stuff. And the input manager is one of those things where we have a problem. We have a problem here. And let me explain the problem. Let me explain how this works, and let me explain the problem. So we have each one of these represents each one of the inputs, right? So it says this is move. These are the default ones, right? This is default. This is what you get when you start Rogue Engine, right? When you get Rogue Engine, this is what you get default. You have the move, you have the look, the jump, the fire, and the select. These are the default ones. And it tells you here how it works, right? So you get up, down, left and right, and you have, this is the order that the thing goes on, and you can do this, you can set this up very easily through code, right? You have the gamepad, right? The X is 0, the Y is 1, right? The touch, the area left, right? And normalize, you can this is actually just to normalize the positioning. And you have the whole documentation in this on the docs page on the input side, so you can see everything, how it works and what everything does. It's not that hard. It's actually quite simple, and it's very powerful. So I invite you to go and look at it. But we also have, for instance, here we have buttons, right? Because these are two axes, right? We have a button here, for instance, which is the space for the keyboard, and this is the number 1, number 0 for the gamepad, touch 1. So if you create a button, right, with the button API, right, it would just say, okay, button 1 in the touch. You have a whole API for creating touch buttons. So yeah, go and check the docs for the input there. Okay, because the input manager there has a lot of stuff there you can use. But how does this work? So okay, here I have set up something, right? So say I have a fire 2. Say I want another fire, or I want something else here. Like this one, right? I say I want a bind button, right? Called fire 2. Gamepad, I'll call it gamepad, gamepad, I don't know, 6, all right? And so fire 2 is gamepad 6, and now we have fire 2, gamepad 6. It comes here and stays in default, right? So here's the thing, we have defaults, and we have then the other namespaces for each type of input. The way you should set up inputs, right? It's not like this really. What I recommend doing is doing namespace in your inputs. So say, I don't know, character dot fire 2, right? Or character dot fire, maybe, right? It's character dot fire. So now you have character fire, you see? So now you have them namespace like this. So this way you can see how your inputs are set up, right? You have a fire button here with the gamepad, right? And this is very simple. Now say that you forgot, you didn't add this, and you've set up fire to be gamepad, 0, like this, right? So now what happens is that fire has, gamepad 0. You see, you have overridden that. So yeah, you should know that. And also anything else that had gamepad 0 has been overridden here, right? So that's why you don't do that. You actually just, if you set it to 7 again, you see, oh, this one shows up again. Jump was 0, and now, it's back. Because I'm resetting the defaults every time it loads. It reloads, your code reloads like that. I'm resetting the defaults, so you never lose the defaults. But this is now the default way to set up inputs. Always set your inputs in this way. Instead of here outside, like just like that, which is ugly and disgusting. Let's set up the inputs in something like the way I would recommend doing it is creating something like, okay, here I had created one actually. Look at that. I had actually created one. Look at this. There you go. I had one. Wait, I thought of everything. Okay, so I copied it. Ridiculous. Okay, so say, my namespace fire, and I want to set it up as gamepad 1, and you have a simple input config.ts, and here you have all your inputs like this. You can set them up however you want, and they will show up in your configurations here like this, and you can call them, you can simply call them, say, re the input the get down, my namespace dot fire, and it'll tell you when you're pressing the fire button, right? So that's how it works, right? So, and now you can visualize it, because previously you just had to you would have all these configurations everywhere, and maybe on start and somewhere like that. So that's important. From now on, always set the configurations. I highly recommend doing it with the namespace, and don't do them on start or on awake or something like that. I highly recommend doing your configurations on one of these input config classes where you can visualize them easily within the editor, right? And they don't just appear once the scene is loaded, right? Once you play the game, they're already set up there for you. So yeah, this is powerful. This is really good, I think. And yeah, I highly recommend you do things this way. But yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can just break everything if you want. You just blow it up. You can put a bomb there and blow everything apart. That's also an option, right? So please don't do that. Please don't do that. So just use it right. Use it right. Okay. Also, very important thing, right, is when you namespace it, right? When you namespace, you can set up the same gamepad 7, for instance, right? So that's important, because the namespacing things allows you to have multiple buttons, because that's the whole point, right? You can have, fire is gamepad 7, right? But also, what did I do? Yeah, there. Okay, I saw a 1. I don't know why. Maybe it was a 7. I just couldn't see. I didn't save. But yeah, gamepad 7 is fire, and gamepad 7 is fire for the namespace. So if you do my namespace fire, it's going to be when you catch 7, right? So you can use whatever you want. You can use any configuration you want, but it's always important to namespace them, right? So if you have like multiple, you say you have an airplane mode and a running mode and a car mode within the same game, you can namespace it. Okay, this is my car. Drive, you can drive with the same buttons. You can use the car with the same buttons as you do something else. So that's why we namespace things. It's very important. So yeah, namespace them. And you namespace them with just a point there, just a little dot here in the middle. Yeah, and you can visualize that now. What else do we have? Oh, so many things, mate. So many things. I don't remember what else we have. Let me go check. Because if I have to open Chrome, I'm gonna, this thing's gonna have a stroke. And like if I open Chrome, this thing goes, and it dies. It just totally dies. So yeah, we're just gonna. I'm gonna check what else if I'm missing something. I showed you the menus. I showed you the things. What else? Is there something else I didn't show you? Something else I didn't show you. I fixed some UI bugs. Yeah, I fixed the some properties, like the properties in the lights. Some lights had properties that weren't proper for the lights themselves, right? They were properties for the for the wrong type of lights. Thank you, Marky, for that. Marky noticed that some of the lights had properties that didn't really work, and was actually because I invented that those properties existed on those lights. They actually didn't, so I removed them because they made no sense. Yeah, so that's a thing, but I added some more. So now you go into the lights, you're going to see all the properties that probably weren't there before. And we're going to have some changes there with the lights because but that's coming next. I don't want to mix everything up for the stuff that I have for the next update here, because this doesn't make any sense. Let me see, are you hearing me well? Yeah, my audio is fine. I'm always worried about the audio because sometimes it just starts, by the way, let me know if you like the video in the back there, the weird video thing I have in the back. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if it's if it fits the purpose here. If it looks good. What else? Let me keep looking at. I have this list here. What else we have? We have the copy transforms. Yeah, I didn't show you that. I'm gonna show you that now, probably. Just say profile position, I showed you that. Camera preview, render settings, yeah, I showed you that. Yeah, I think I showed you everything. Yeah. Yeah, so much, yeah. It took so long, and then I showed it so fast. It's gone now. What else? Yeah, so I'm gonna show you the copy thing that we have now. Yeah, let me show you this one now. Okay. This is a very simple one, actually. This is a very simple one, but it's actually nice. I think you're gonna like it, mostly if you've been doing a lot of this. So now we also have this thing where you can get like the transform here. It has this little cog here now, and so you say, okay, copy transform for this one, right? And you can get, I don't know, this tree here, right? And you say, you have the base as the source for the transform, and you can paste the world position. For instance, it will take it there, right? But if you paste, I don't know, if you paste just the position itself, right? Well, it's the same now because it's positioned at 0, right? The parent is positioned at 0. But if the parent was positioned somewhere else, right, it would actually have, like, say, if the environment was like here, you know, something like that, you know, the this thing, you know, if you position it, yeah, if you do paste position, it was going to be there. But if you do paste world position, I don't know. Yeah, it's not doing it, so I don't know. I don't know. Probably didn't save it. I don't know. Didn't save the position. I don't know. Let's see, copy transform. It's probably the same one. I really don't know how that works. Yeah, I don't know. Probably the same thing. Should do that. I'm gonna have to look into this now. Suspicious. But yeah, it should actually be based in the world position and not the position like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna save this anyway because I don't want to make a mess. But but yeah, I think it's yeah. Let's get it there. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I don't have more on this. Okay. No worries. I can just reload the test here. Oh no, this is a component. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, yeah, just reload this. There you go. So yeah, we don't have anything else. I don't have anything else to show you, I think. This is all of the stuff for the release. This is all of the stuff. I think it's a lot of things. It's a lot. I have to document a lot of things here. New stuff to document. Mostly in the workflows. Prefabs are now very, very powerful. I mean, just using prefabs now is so simple. I think. Oh, I forgot one thing. Yeah, right. I forgot that. We have the renaming of prefabs here now, right? And we also have, I've automated the renaming of components. This is an important one because previously to rename a component, it was death. It was bad. It meant that you had to, like, rename it in everywhere you had used it, basically. It wasn't nice. It means that you had to replace it, basically. That was not a good thing. That was definitely a really bad thing. Now you can just rename your components. So that's an that's an improvement. Let's say that's an improvement. And let me show you how powerful it is now, right? Because here we have test that is within a prefab. Okay. So the test is now saved in a prefab. Right, and remember that test, it's important. Names are important here, right? So that generates an issue for me and for everyone. But now you can rename it, right? And that's you know, call it test, you know, test one, and you know, and it will just rename it for you everywhere. You know, so it's going to do a reload there. It's gonna have to wait for it. It's gonna show an error first, but then yeah, it's gonna be okay. Don't worry about that. It may show an error first because it's going in and it's changing the file, you know, so it is actually going to be doing, you know, a reload there for you and all that. So it may be a bit of a mess. Well, it didn't work. Something happened here. Yeah, something broke. I don't know what happened. Oh my god. Yeah, we have a breakage. We have a live breakage or something. I don't know what happened here. I think I broke something. It should have worked easily just from the beginning, but something happened here. But yeah, here it changed here easily. Yeah, we're gonna have to see what happened with the other one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do more further testing with this, I think. Yeah, it worked here just fine. So yeah, I don't know what happened with the other one. That was suspicious. That's suspicious because this was working. Oh no, what did it do? It created two. Oh no, this is a problem. Okay. We have a new error here. My goodness. I think this might have been when I've been doing the whole within systems, you know, changing things the last minute. Oh my god. Yeah, so I will have to patch this urgently. So yeah, we'll have a patch. I have two things to patch already. So we're probably gonna have a 0667 today. Yeah, tonight we're gonna have a 067. Worry not about that. But yeah, but this is weird because why do I have two? We shouldn't have two. This is probably a, yeah, it's a big problem. This is a big problem. This shouldn't have happened. Oh, it did the thing. It actually changed there. Yeah, it actually changed that. It didn't do the replace correctly. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to do a bit of debugging here and see what happened, and yeah, and report back. I'm gonna send the patch with the thing working properly. Very sorry about that. But yeah, so many things, so many new stuff. So this is why I need to test it. Help me out, because so many new things that are breaking prone. So we need to make sure that these things work properly. And as you can see, right, it's no big deal. You know, everything worked fine. You know, afterwards I just, you know, the thing changed the name and the thing works just fine. It's the same as it was, and there's no problem and all that. It just saved the same name and there was no issue. But yeah, there was a problem here when I was renaming the prefabs, when I was doing something. So sorry, the file. Even the prefab renamed it correctly and it was fine. There was no problem with that. But it creates the second file and that was a problem. So yeah, it renamed it everywhere, but it creates the second file instead of replacing the one we had. Yeah, I think that's what happened. It shouldn't have done that. It should just have done a rename. I think probably when I updated a package on the for the Mac or for the Linux one, something that wasn't working, I may have broken something there while I was fixing something else. So now I have to go and test this back again, make sure that it works fine on every system. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a bit of a testing and I'm gonna send a patch with the solution. So we're probably gonna have a 067 very, very soon. All right. As always, you know, anything breaks, anything happens, you can count on me. I will fix it. I'll come back here and I'll, you know, I will jump out of bed to fix things, as always, you know. And always, as I always say, you know, I am honored to be in your service, as always, right? And yeah, and I hope you enjoyed this new release. Let me know what you think. Let me know how it's yeah, let me know how it goes for you. Probably the next time, if you're watching this after the fact, after this live stream, you probably, if you're watching this after the live stream, it's very likely that you already have the 067 with the patches, with the stuff. And yeah, so, you know, if you manage to see anything, you know, anything that we need to fix urgently, we'll fix it urgently. We just patch it. We just go with, you know, 6.8, you know, 6, whatever. We're just gonna, anything after 6 now, after 6.6 is gonna be, sorry, everything after 6.5, right? We are 6.6 now. Everything after that is gonna be urgent patches, right? Urgent patches until 1.0. So if you have something that's urgent, there's a problem. Hey, this is a problem, you know, I'm just going to throw a patch very, very fast. And people are going to get an update. So we're going to be like that for about a couple of months. It depends on how long it takes me to finally get everything back together, like everything packed up, well packed for 1.0. Oh, we have Marky there saying, reporting something. Look at that. Marky's always there on the job, you know. I said I had an issue with the scaling on one of my prefab instantiate scripts. Oh, look at that. Only in one situation. So I suspect it's just my code and needs reworking. I shall report back. All right. Yeah, let me know. Sometimes I think if you use, it depends. If you're using like add or attach, I think sometimes it can happen that scaling can change depending on the parents as well, right? So keep that in mind. I think if you add, like if you instantiate it and then you add it, if you do like dot add, you know, game object dot add, I think it changes things. You know, you can get a bit, yeah, it gets a bit different there. You know, so yeah, I recommend looking into that. how are you adding it. I recommend using attach as much as you can instead of add. It's a much better option 100% of the time. And yeah, and if you do instantiate with the parent name, as always, it will instantiate directly within the parent, and you can then position it within the parent as you want, which is very useful as well. So yeah, we're not going to be doing any game development tonight because I am very tired. I am extremely tired. I mean, I am so tired. I've been working on this. I've been working on this while very, very sick. I was very ill, and I was feeling terrible. I was so bad. And yeah, and I worked my arse off to get this thing out, and it's finally out, and it has problems, and I'm okay with it because that was the whole point. Was I knew that we were going to have issues and things, and that was the whole idea. The idea was that launch this early, so instead of me testing these things and finding stuff while I was doing other things and all that, just letting you test. Letting you test, the things that I need to be testing, I need to be patching before 1.0, because some of these things are important. Some of these things are very break prone, and we need to make sure that they're patched as soon as possible. I don't like, I wouldn't want the 1.0 to be, patched constantly. With things that should have patched in the beta. So we're patching the last things. We're doing the last effort, the last push with this beta, because we want that 1.0 to be as good, as perfect as possible. So yeah, please help me out. So I'm requesting your help to please help me out test this new release, to make sure that it's up there and that is on par with how we want it to be. And let me know the annoyances you have. Let me know the things that are not working, because the next release is going to have a lot of things that you probably have as an annoyance, like multi-selection, for instance, and all these things that we don't have. They're going to be in 1.0. Like at least multi-selection. The hardest part is multi-editing, not really multi-selection. Multi-selection, like deleting things, nesting things, like that. That's very simple. That's actually already working. I didn't add it because it breaks the inspector. So I have to be careful with that. That's the thing that's stopping me from doing multi-selection right now. Is the fact that it breaks the inspector. So I have to be very careful with that. I want to have a proper inspector strategy there. I'm considering different things. I'm considering if you're going full-blown, multi-selection with full multi-editing, or if I should do like a light version first and work from there, because it's really tough to figure out, since you can have anything in the inspector really. You can have all kinds of different components. Looking into what components are the same, looking into like which fields are exactly the same, like which have the same values, which fields don't have the same values. I was using like numericals. Should I change all those numericals now and turn them into texts, text things now, and just add restrictions? I really don't know what I should do. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy, definitely. It's becoming a real annoyance. So yeah, I'm gonna test. I'm gonna do some tests myself. We're gonna come back. I don't know when. Probably Wednesday. I really don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out a proper. I remember I said I was gonna have a schedule, but yeah, no, we had a release, not a schedule for the live streams. But yeah, I'm gonna come back to do game development. I'm gonna prioritize patching things now. So please let me know if you find a bug. Like I just found a bug now. I just found a problem. I'm gonna go and try to reproduce it a bunch of times to see the real issue, and I'm gonna report back with the fixes, and I'm gonna send a patch. So if I can, piggyback again and all the fixes within this patch, I'm gonna be super happy with it. So please, let me know. Let me know if there's something else I can add. I don't want to just send a patch for a couple of bullshit things, you know. So yeah, let me know, okay? Okay. That's it for today. I was actually missing these live streams, but actually live streaming is so weird. It's so weird. It's just very, very weird. It's very, very weird. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you so much for your support, for your help. Thank you. I want to thank specifically everyone who's been, you know, sending both reports, feature requests, people who've been building stuff with Rogue Engine, you know, and having no updates to the engine itself, you know, because I was doing all these stuff, you know, for the engine, even stuff that is not there yet, that is not in the editor now, because much of it I still have to, you know, really make it work with the editor. This stuff was crucial for that. Like, this release was crucial for that, because the next one may break more things. So I need to be, you know, I instead of when I'm going to add an actual breaking a breaking version, I'd rather just add a breaking version once. So these are the things that maybe break prone, but they are not going to break your project, right? So that was the whole point of separating it in two. So the 1.0 may be a breaking change in some things, but I need to have a strategy to take you out of that. I don't want to do that twice to you. So and I don't want to keep you waiting a long time for, you know, for the next one, you know, 2 more months or something like that. So no, let's get, you know, let's get you this one now. Let's patch it as much as we need to make it work. I'm hoping that you will help me out, please, with the testing, and like you've been doing. Thank you so much for the stuff you're doing. Thank you so much for building stuff for Rogue Engine, for trusting it, for your game, for your projects, for everything you do. Please share with people what you build with Rogue Engine. Please tell everyone, you know, why you like it, why you're using it, why, you know, you're enjoying it. You know, and as always, you can count on me. You can count on me, you know, for anything you need. Just find me there in the Discord. As always, you know, I'm, you know, you can find me there. You know that I'm there, and yeah, this is it. That's it. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Hey, bye bye.